In the studio here with me is one of the contenders. Let's get to know him. Nurudeen Iddrisu is a banker and oil and gas consultant, and he will be telling us more on why he is the best for the 2020 flag bearer for the NDC. Hello, Mr. Nurudeen. Very refreshing to have you on the pulse. You're welcome.
Thank you very much.
So you are competing, and we are still waiting for the 12th person to join the race, which a lot of people have pointed at Professor Botchie. We haven't seen that yet, but you are contending with people like former President Mahama, Alban Bagbin, Professor Joshua Lapi, and the likes. What makes you think that you are the best bet for the NDC come 2020?
Thank you very much. There's a paradigm shift in the country where the youth, the aged, are calling for a youthful, a strong, a vibrant young man to come and run the affairs of this country. People are disillusioned. They need a businessman. They need empowerment. And Nurudeen Iddrisu is the best person to empower the people of this country, because I believe in empowerment. I believe in empowering the indigenous Ghanaian. This is how I'm going to do it. First of all, I'll pick the pharmaceutical industries, identify people, empower them, move to construction, empower them. All that I want to see is to see the indigenous Ghanaian empowered. And that's what I'm going to work towards. That's what I'm bringing in. But before that, my focus will be to have a national plan. As a nation, I don't think we have a national plan, because if you ask me, I don't know what a national plan is.
But
how do we progress without a national plan? Because I don't know it myself.
In John Mahama's era, we were told that we had a 40-year plan.
Fantastic. We need a 5-year plan that will get the buy-in of the opposition, buy-in of the civil society, buy-in of the people of Ghana. Then we can send it to Parliament for approval. In that case, the people will be comfortable. We'll have a roadmap in which we can follow. Without it, I really don't know what we are doing. So that is the main reason why I am running.
Okay.
Because I will have a well-versed 5-year development plan with a buy-in of Ghanaians,
okay,
including the opposition. So that will make life easier.
It doesn't look like a very easy contest for you.
Definitely it's not easy, because they are big boys, whether we like it or not. There are guys who are more popular than me. But at this time in our party's history, we need a young and vibrant businessman who will empower the grassroots, who will empower the youth, who will empower the women. That is what I'm coming to do. I am not scared to see people empowered. So that is what I am coming to do. And going around, people are comfortable with me. Grassroots are happy to have me on board. And trust me, I am going to pull a surprise.
Okay, we'll look forward to that surprise. But we've seen the NDC, over the years come under serious attack, or if you like, criticism, where you see divisiveness. We've seen factions in the party. We've seen the party faced with some challenges. Some of them were enumerated in the Professor Botchie report. Do you think you have the capacity to deal with these challenges for the party to be able to get victory in 2020?
Yes, of course. Nurudeen Iddrisu is a unifier. I did not just join the party. My uncle, I call him my father because he brought me up, like Mama Iddrisu,
okay,
is a founding member of the party.
Right.
So from day one, I was part and parcel of NDC.
Okay.
I know and understand the challenges.
Right.
That is why I don't have a camp. I'm a unifier. I speak to all. I know the ex-presidents. I'm close to the rest of the people. And I am the best bet. I'm the one to bring everybody together. I am a unifier. And trust me, I'm known for that. Yes. Quite apart from that, if you look at our party, business community is not comfortable with us. Why? Because they think we don't empower businesses. So I'm here to solve the problem. Okay. I'm here to fix it. Okay. As a businessman, I understand the challenges, and the business community is comfortable with me. So trust me, once I get the nod, which I'm sure, God willing, I'll get, we'll make a headway.
Let's come to this banking crisis we are faced with as a country. And imagine if you're a banker, yeah, and if you've been elected at the primaries and you've won as a president of the country. How would you deal with this crisis? Would you allow this to even happen in the first place?
Not at all. Not at all. This is a very interesting topic for me, and I'll need a whole day. As people, as Ghanaians, we do not want to see each other progress. We believe in pulling each other down. I do agree, I agree with BOG, Bank of Ghana, to sanitize the system. But I ask them to do it with caution, because it's going to create job losses. It's going to erode the confidence in the indigenous Ghanaian businessman. Okay. So there are several ways of doing it, but sometimes I have a challenge, because imagine a bank, for example, let me not mention it, one of the banks. Okay. Contractors owe the banks. Government owes contractors. BDCs owes the bank. Government owes BDC. So technically, the money is not businessmen money. The money is not our money. The money is for the banks. Okay. Till date, government hasn't paid. And you expect those banks to survive? It's not possible. Please, Ghanaians, we as people do not want to see people progress. We don't like progressive people. Our leadership, I can assure you, cannot be trusted. Because once a Ghanaian is doing very well, we go after the person, we believe in pulling people down, and clearly, I don't want to read meanings into it, because the banking crisis, one of the issues raised was corporate governance. But if I'm sitting there, I will fix corporate governance issues through training. I will bail out banks. I believe in bailouts. Okay. It happens in other jurisdictions, okay, so we can do it. Right. So please, as people, let's not look at, oh, this person is doing so well, let me go into it. And trust me, if it's going to go on, it's going to be local banks, it's going to be Ghanaians, that's what we are going to attack. And that is what we are known for. I'm coming in to stop it. Okay. I'm coming in to ensure that the indigenous Ghanaian succeeds. And I'll make conscious efforts to ensure that indigenous people succeed, and okay, it's doable.
You've been in the sector for some time now, and we've had issues, and we've heard that there are people behind the banks who, because they know that the bank is an entity on its own, they hide behind the bank and steal monies, and then they lead the bank to collapse. But you being the, what exactly, and we've also had issues of Bank of Ghana, who is supposed to be the regulator and to be monitoring events. We've heard rumors that they don't really do the monitoring. Some of them go into the banks, they only come back with fat envelopes and all of that. And that is why we are seeing some of these things, because if the monitoring was to be done properly, probably we wouldn't have found ourselves here. What exactly would you say is the situation that has led us into this?
In terms of fat envelopes, I don't know about that, and I can't speak to that.
Right.
However, I know very well that there are corporate governance challenges, okay, which is a fact. So, Bank of Ghana should have also be up and doing. Okay? Okay. But I think as people, as Ghanaians, we have failed. Why am I saying we failed as people? Look at, there were reports, there were auditors' reports. What are we doing about that? We have to go after the auditors. Bank of Ghana, somebody licensed the people. You can't license somebody and come and tell them that it was fraudulent. It did not happen under one regime. Some of the banks started from NDC and got their final licenses in MPP. And you wake up and tell me that it was fraudulent, then we didn't do our due diligence.
Okay.
So all that I want to do, or I'm pleading with the nation, to support me, to empower the indigenous Ghanaian, wholeheartedly, make conscious efforts to empower the indigenous Ghanaian. Because, trust me, whatever leadership is doing, there's more to it, which we don't know. You and I, we don't know. We're yet to probe into it.
Okay.
Yeah.
You talk of systemic failure.
Yeah.
It means that there is something this government is doing which you think is not doing right. What is that thing that government is not doing right, and what differently would you do?
If you want to you are going to spend taxpayers' money, about 8 billion. You could have used half of that to bail out. Because you came into power 2016. You licensed the banks, it means you didn't do your due diligence well. So what I'm going to do differently is that I am going to get the institutions up and doing. I'm going to ensure that we have strong and robust institutions. And once we have, that's it. Things will move. And where indigenous banks have challenges, we build them out. It's not going to be continuous, but we will have to make conscious efforts to help the indigenous businesses. I am not against Bank of Ghana. I do support them to sanitize it, but I plead with the leadership to take a second look. That's it. Have
you heard about all this labor brouhaha after the consolidation? What's your take on it?
We saw it coming. We saw it coming. If we really care about our economy, we should have prevented it. We saw it coming. And same weak institutions. You can't just lay people off without passing through or following due process. Chief Labour's office wasn't notified. He's even not the picture as at the last time I verified. So why are we doing things in a rush? Why are we doing things in a rush to send people home? Why are we collapsing the indigenous people? Don't you think we could have done it in a better way by going behind the scene and supporting them, and also ensuring that BOG was up and doing to prevent the mess, and also ensure that we had the right systems in place? So I'm just going to push for that. I'm going to push for a strong and robust institution. Get everybody back on track. Get all the institutions working.
That would be very, refreshing to see. But you're also an oil and gas consultant.
Yeah.
Why are we not getting adequate returns from our oil? Why are we not getting proper accounts for our oil revenue? Do you know?
It's very, very interesting. To start with, we have very corrupt laws. Why am I saying corrupt laws? You have, for example, you have a local content law that states that the foreign firms should invest or use local banks. And you did not specify the percentage that should go through our local banks. And the likes of ENI and Talo combined, they're investing almost over 12 billion in the economy. If we had enforced the laws, trust me, even if we say 10%, as in the case in Nigeria, that's at least whatever investment you are putting in there, 10% should go through the indigenous banks. Trust me, this thing won't be happening.
Okay.
However, the current CEO, I must be honest, I'm not political. He's doing very well. He's ensuring that the systems work. He's ensuring that the local content works. But the law itself is challenged.
Okay, what would you...
Secondly, if a local businessman, indigenous Ghanaian businessman, import capital goods, you pay taxes.
Right.
You pay import duties. But in our petroleum agreements, the foreign companies do not pay. They don't pay import duties. How do we challenge How do we compete with them? Let's be fair. Let's be fair. So it means we really want to collapse the indigenous Ghanaian. That is the pull him down, pull her down syndrome. Okay. That is the more reason why I'm coming on board.
What would you recommend to be done to the law if you say there are loopholes?
We need reforms.
Okay.
That is one of the things I'll be doing.
Okay.
Reforms. We need to reform the entire system. We need to even reform our constitution. We need to reform all the laws.
Okay, you seem to have a lot on your chest. You want to give out to the people if they vote you. But from now up to December, when you go to the polls, what should the delegates expect from you? Because you've already said that they are receiving you well.
Well, Nurudeen Iddrisu, a businessman, ex-banker, a humble, hard-working guy, is coming to empower the indigenous Ghanaian. He is coming to empower those in the pharmaceuticals industry. He will empower the construction, the financial sector, ensure that the system works.
So from now to December, are you going to be giving people money to empower them, or what exactly are you going to be doing?
For now, I don't have money to share because I want you to invest for your future.
Okay.
Yes, I won't buy anybody. If you want me to buy, forget it.
Okay.
Then I have a plan to empower you.
Okay.
I have the plan to empower the indigenous Ghanaian. I have a plan to empower women. I have a plan to empower youth, to create jobs, to diversify into agric so that there won't be pressure on the city. So I have a great plan.
You have a great plan. Yes. Well, many thanks to you.
Very much.
Nurudeen Iddrisu is a banker, businessman, politician, and a Muslim. And he is saying that he wants to grab power in the NDC and also lead the NDC to victory in 2020. He wants to empower the youth. Many thanks for coming, and we really appreciate your time. It's been refreshing having you.